Drenched in stoner lore and fevered weed dreams, the almighty sleep bestow upon the masses a thunderous gift for this year's 420 celebrations. 20 years since the band's last full-length studio offering, 1998's sprawling, ambitious Jerusalem, Sleep obliterate all expectations with their new slab of stoner metal greatness, The Sciences. Founding member Al Cisneros and Matt Pike, reclaiming their venerated place on bass and vocals and guitar respectively, are joined by fellow legend and Neurosis' stickman Jason Reeder on drums in the band's recent incarnation. Releasing a single titled The Clarity in 2014, rumblings of a full-length release gave way to news the band was planning on entering the studio, but any potential release was hoped for but far from guaranteed. However, an early posting on Australia's iTunes store lifted the veil on the impending release, and an announcement in the hours that followed detailed the physical releases that would be available. A standard CD and 2 LP standard black vinyl option are available, as well as two additional offerings: a limited edition first pressing green vinyl variant sold through Jack White's Third Man Records, which sold out in just a few hours, and an exclusive black-green vinyl variant limited to 1,000 copies and only available in band-selected record stores. To begin our journey, an epic, stoner-styled variation on Also sprach Zarathustra opens the long-awaited return from these stoner lords. Album namesake, The Sciences, offers a revelatory moment of distorted grace. Purposefully swarming, surging, and swelling, The Sciences rises to elevated realization as brief moments soar to kiss the sky with anthemic grace. The driving climbs and cruising momentum of The Sciences reaches a catharsis with the water pipe solo that opens the second song Marijuana's theme. This clear statement of intent heralds the opening salvo of Marijuana's theme with sly regality before the band launches into a churning riff, leaden with a warbling gait. Settling into a roiling hypnotism, Cisneros' mantric intonation provides a beacon and anchor in the submersive sonic eddy. Jason Reeder's deft drumming proffers a steady pulse to the smoke-infused riff maelstrom surging and swirling all about. Boasting buoyant tidal riffs, bounding bass, and nimble drum manipulation, finally cresting into an ascendant solo swarm from Matt Pike, which leads to Marijuana Theme's close. A studio version of Sonic Titan follows in its crushing revelatory glory. Having never been properly recorded, a live version from the 2003 release of Dope Smoker was the only extant version. This studio effort marches forward slowly with driving subtlety. Cisneros' bass provides a solid pounding foundation for Pike's degenerate distortion to twist and churn with a viscous excavation. A moment of solitary bass excursion emerges only to be subsumed by the glacial crush of Sleep's trio of power. A unified push in the song's final moments allows Matt Pike the opportunity to launch a high-impact solo that hits with a boost of rollicking momentum. On Antarctican's Thawed, a slow, methodical build is as tranquil as it gets as our three-piece smoking section reaches maximum viscosity, with Cisneros' slow-motion plea anchoring the slow-moving churn. As Antarctican's Thawed nears the halfway point, the band drops into an even slower gear of gravity-altering sludge, using Dave Chandler as a medium to channel acid-drenched cosmic bursts. Matt Pike drops an exquisite solo of eviscerating noise and purposeful interdimensional squalls, and Cisneros snarls a final frozen invocation as the sprawling epic sonic saga slowly dissolves into its disparate strains. Giza Butler opens with a low-key rumination that bristles with anticipation. Ramping up with a steady seismic pull, the amazingly named Giza Butler cycles and builds to achieve distorted bliss. Stone theology from the enlightened stoner lords find Al Cisneros proselytizing to the haze-shrouded choir. An enveloping heft pushes and pulls Giza Butler as intensive and hypnotic repetition soon break open with a buoyant swing that finds the bass and guitar merging into and out of each other, before an all too brief solo drops in and out as the song winds to a close. Bookending this album with a pair of instrumentals, The Sciences opens the affair with a transcendent squall, and The Botanist closes The Sciences with an understated brilliance. A plaintive acoustic tinge permeates the atmosphere, while an uplifting guitar refrain reaches out for attention. A slow jam of marijuana-sized proportions, The Botanist revels in tectonic stoner blues as Matt Pike's soul-drenched solo moves through the speakers with uplifting sustain, hard-hitting flourishes, and searing ascents. Diverging into a vaporous musical space, The Botanist ends in a slow ambling dissolution as masters Cisneros and Reeder hold the line as Pike's guitar echoes and wails around the periphery. Unbeknownst to the world, the recently reactivated stoner lord Sleep visited a major surprise onto the public with a smoke-drenched sonic salvo of titanic proportions. With the release of the band's first full-length album in nearly 20 years, Al Cisneros, Matt Pike, and newfound Hesher Jason Reeder have gifted the world a nuanced work of subtle grace and roaring bombast, intoning mantras of stoner philosophy while offering subsonic ablutions. Al Cisneros anchors this release with centered and steadfast impetus, while Jason Reeder brings an earthen percussive flow to the proceedings, perfected from decades of supplying the rhythmic backbone to the musical force known as neurosis. With tectonic shifting power, explosive guitar eruptions, and viscous flows of molten riffs cascade from the hands of Matt Pike. Crafted by true masters of the heavy and loud arts, this surprise release exemplifies the primal drive of the band's original run, but hones their essence to a focused roar of dank, roiling heaviness and smoke-infused riff mastery.